All right, so this is going to be our gut health masterclass. So I'm going to walk you through exactly why this is important in the first place, what exactly causes gut health issues, what fixes gut health issues, and then actually how to measure the success and see if what you're doing is actually working. So we're going to cover some very specific stuff in here. So strap in, listen. This is going to be very, very valuable. So let's dive in. So the first thing we're talking about is why gut health is even important in the first place. So your gut health and your brain are they work very close together. Okay, so like the gut health or the gut, your intestines and all that stuff, your digestive system, it communicates with your brain and they go back and forth. So if your gut health is messed up, then your brain is likely going to be messed up. And if you've ever experienced like brain fog and just like this fuzziness before, it might have even come from your gut. So again, most of the immune system also lives in your gut. So it's not just, if you get sick, sometimes it could be a result of the fact that your gut health is thrown off, right? Poor gut health can also affect your mood, again, tying into your brain. It can affect weight loss, and it can affect your cognitive function, like we've already talked about, right? Consistent poor gut health has been linked to things like rheumatoid arthritis, cancer, heart disease, and diabetes, right? So obviously we want to get rid of that. If your digestive system is in disarray, how can your body possibly focus on losing weight? It has other priorities, right? So, and a lot of us are looking to shed a few pounds, right? But if you've got just total chaos going on in your gut, your body is focusing a lot of its attention on trying to fix that. It's not worried about trying to lose weight right now. That's all it's focused on. So it's pretty much impossible to lose a good portion of weight if you are in bad shape gut wise. So, what exactly causes poor gut health? Okay, so the number one thing that causes poor gut health is consistent consumption of processed foods. If you just do this thing right here, then it will likely just eliminate a lot of your problems. So the ingredients in these foods are foreign to your body and we don't digest them well, okay? And the number one thing that is inside of processed foods that makes you want to overeat them because they taste good and they light your brain up. And it's kind of goes hand in hand. It makes you overeat them, but it also wreaks havoc in your gut is seed oils. Okay, so seed oils are terrible for you. Things like canola oil, vegetable oil, palm oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, sesame oil, corn oil, the list goes on. But these oils are processed at very high heats and they wreak havoc in your gut. So when a factory is processing canola oil, it is going to light a flame under that oil and process it and make it, to where they can put it into other foods. They have to process that to where they can add it to things like Doritos and Oreos and all of that crap, right? So they light a fire on it. It gets a very high temperature, and then they put it into these foods. And when you eat these foods, and your gut is trying to digest the Doritos, the Oreos that you've just eaten, it's got all these foreign ingredients, and the main one is this canola oil, and it comes from a seed, I believe. And it's like, okay, I don't understand what this is. It's just not. I'm not happy with this. So then it just gets inflammation, right? And it's just like, holy shit, what do we do? I don't know what to do with this canola oil. So we just bloat and we get inflamed and we just don't like it, and all of that stuff happens. So all of these oils kind of have the same effect on your gut. Okay, so very important. If you turn over if you're going to the grocery store, you look at a food and you can read the ingredients list and it has any sort of seed oil on it, highly recommend putting it back if you're looking to decrease inflammation. So the number two culprit is gluten and dairy. So some people process these fine. Like myself, I eat a lot of dairy and I do fine with it. Gluten is another story though. I don't do great with gluten. I definitely get inflamed from gluten. So with things like that have a lot of gluten, or like wheat, pasta, breads, cereals, grains, oats, barley, flour, things like that. Okay, that all has gluten in it. And then things, obviously, dairies like milk, cream, butter, cheese, and yogurt. Okay, so those things often cause a lot of digestive issues just because people just don't process them well, just for whatever reason. So the number three culprit is added sugar. So this kind of ties back in to the processed food thing. So sugar wreaks havoc in your gut and in your entire body. It leads to insulin resistance if you eat enough of it, a rise in blood pressure, and heart disease. So pretty much you're looking for anything that says in the nutrition label, added sugar, blank grams, 2 grams, 6 grams. Some cereals have like 18 grams per serving of added sugar. Coca-Cola has like 34. It's freaking insane. But then you're also looking on the ingredients label for things like corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, cane sugar, dextrose, rice syrup, anything that has that syrup at the end of it is likely an added sugar. So when you see those things, and they have to tell you if there's added sugar in the thing. Okay, so if it says 6 grams of added sugar, remember that's 6 grams of added sugar per serving. So if you get ice cream, right, and it's got that thing on it, just know, okay, I'm eating dairy and I'm eating added sugar, and likely there's probably some seed oils and some other processed food ingredients in here too. So how is this going to work when it gets to my gut? Is it really going to do a lot of good for me? No, it's probably going to bloat the crap out of me, and I'm probably not going to crap for 3 days, right? So we don't want to do that. Avoid those things, especially this added sugar when it's really bad. The number 4 culprit is a low fiber diet. So actually only 5% of people meet the daily recommended requirement for fiber, which is freaking insane because it's like less than 30 grams. Fiber is what helps break down food and it digests it in your gut. And without it, food cannot be properly digested. And this leads to inflammation and bloating because that food is just sitting in your stomach. And you're just like, oh my God, I just ate that food and it's just sitting here, right? Well, you probably don't have a lot of fiber to break that food down. If you're going to eat a steak, right, and then you expect your body to break down this tough, chewy, red meat, but you don't have any fiber in your gut to actually help it break it down, you're in it for hell. I mean, you're going to be not great gut wise for a while because your body's just going to take longer and longer and longer to break that food down because there's no fiber in there, right? So we're going to kind of address those issues and tell you actually how to fix those gut health issues. It's pretty self-explanatory, but a diet that's high in whole foods is the best way to fix gut issues. Okay, so I haven't mentioned this one either too, but this can be added to the list actually to the number. It can be like a number 5 culprit is alcohol. Alcohol will bloat and inflame the shit out of you, and you probably have felt that before when you drink alcohol. So I know that alcohol is kind of a staple in a lot of people's diets. Maybe it's not every weekend or whatever it is, but alcohol is going to be around, and I drink alcohol. So just keep that in mind when you're doing it, is knowing that, okay, alcohol is going to make me inflamed. So anyways, though, what fixes gut health issues is a diet high in whole foods. So a whole food is anything that is not processed. These foods do not come with the high inflammatory added ingredients that processed foods do come with. So the step 1 to this is only eat processed foods 15 to 20% of the time. That means that if you eat 20 meals per week, less than 4 of them should include processed foods. Okay, so just kind of do the math there on that. Now, the number 1 way to decrease your consumption of processed foods is stop buying them. Stop putting them in your pantry. Stop putting them in your refrigerator. You're not going to buy goldfish and Doritos and chips and cereals and all this stuff and leave it in your pantry and then go, yeah, I'm not going to eat that. That's just for the kids, right? Your kids shouldn't be eating that shit either. So make the swaps, you can have a few of those things in the pantry and in the cupboard, right? But 80% of the time we need to be eating whole foods. So keep it out of the house, okay? Step 2 is to reduce your dairy and gluten consumption, right? An easy way to do this is to only eat gluten and dairy if you're eating out at a restaurant, right? When you're cooking at home, avoid them. That's an easy way to do that. Easy. Okay, when I'm cooking my meals at home, I'm not going to use gluten, right? So I'm going to use either gluten-free pasta or I'm going to use rice or potatoes, because those things don't have gluten in them when it comes to that stuff. And then when it comes to dairy, right? Like I'm only going to eat dairy if I'm out at a restaurant. Like I'm only going to eat cheese if I'm out at a restaurant. I'm only going to eat, I'm going to use oil like olive oil or avocado oil when I'm cooking, or coconut oil. I'm not going to use butter, like those types of things when it comes to eating at home, right? So the next one is don't eat anything with added sugar. So when you're in the grocery store and you pick something up, check and see if it has any added sugar. If it's more than 1 or 2 grams, put it back. It's very simple. Whenever I'm in the grocery store, I'm going to check the label. If it says added sugar, anything above like 1 or 2, I'm putting it back on the shelf. It's not worth it. Okay. Added sugar is different than normal sugar and natural sugar, though. If something has sugar in it, it does not mean that it's bad. You just want to check for the words added sugar. So like honey or pure maple syrup, those things are just sugar, but they're natural sugars, and they're not going to disrupt your gut like an added sugar would, like a cane processed sugar or anything like that, okay? Because your body recognizes honey, it recognizes maple syrup, those things. So the next step is to just eat more fiber, all right? So fiber can be found in fruits and vegetables, And the easiest way to do this is just have one fruit or one vegetable at every single meal. So for breakfast, I'm going to have, some berries along with my breakfast, or an apple or bananas, oranges, avocados, etc. Maybe you chop up some vegetables and you put it in your eggs, something along those lines to just help get the body started with some fiber early in the morning. Okay. Now, when it comes to lunch, again, I'm just thinking like salads here, like spinach, kale, avocado. Maybe you have some broccoli, some carrots, green beans, Brussels sprouts, lettuce, tomato, etc. Right? Obviously, you're not going to be eating all of these things, but just pick one of them and have them at your meal. Right? Dinner, potatoes, asparagus, carrots, green beans, broccoli, any other fruit or vegetable you want to have, throw it in here. Okay. But the easiest way to increase your fiber consumption is just to tell yourself at every single meal, I'm going to have either a fruit or a vegetable or both. Right. That's an easy rule to get to just increase it. Okay. Then, snacks, maybe you want to have some more fiber, apples, oranges, bananas, carrot sticks, cherries, things like that for snacks. Okay. The last step here is to drink more water. Water helps carry foods through your digestive system and keeps you hydrated. It's also the best thing to do to add to your diet if you want to clear up your skin. So if you want to decrease the puffiness, clear all of this up, right? More water, more water, more water. Okay. The best thing to do is just get a reusable water bottle. Stop relying on Deer Park or Aquafina water bottles. Get a refillable one that's like 32 ounces or 64 ounces or whatever, and make it your goal to have at least 3/4 to 1 gallon of water per day. So I've got a refillable water bottle and it's 32 ounces. So I know that if I drink 4 of these in a day, I'm getting 1 gallon. Okay. You can get a 64 ounce, which that would be 2 of those as a gallon, just kind of doing the math there. But the easiest thing to do is just get a refillable one. You can even get the ones that have like the words on the side that are like, keep going, you got this, almost there or whatever. So try that out as well, because nothing in the world will help you with your overall health more than drinking water. That is the easiest step to just because it helps with so many things. And this is one of the biggest things that it helps with. Okay. So remember that gut health is one of the cornerstones of just health in general, because it connects and it works with everything else. And if you're looking to lose weight and your gut health is poor, you will not lose weight because your body is trying to fix that before it fixes anything else. So I hope this was helpful. Please let me know if you have any other questions along this, or if you need me to dive into any more topics. But some of the topics that are in here, we have other modules on that dive a little bit deeper into those specific topics as well. So hope you found it valuable. And